Well, Eric, thanks for taking the time to join us. I know it's a really busy time of the year for you. For our audience who's not familiar with you, just I'll give you the time now to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into farming, where you're located, a little bit about your operation, and so forth.
Yeah. My name's Eric Reed. I farm down on the state line in Tennessee, but we also farm Alabama. We're directly on the state line. So when people ask me where I'm from, I automatically register them to Jack Daniel's Distillery. I'm about 20 minutes from Jack Daniel's. So everybody knows Jack.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's the easiest way I know how to put it. But we're kind of on that northern Alabama, southern Tennessee. I farm both sites, like I said, three counties. We're pretty scattered out. My wife owns a cotton gin with her brother, and so cotton is our number one crop. Starting back about 7 years ago, I started growing corn for rotation purposes, and we started dabbling in a little bit of beans also. Like I said, I was primarily 100% on cotton. You can't run corn through a cotton gin, so that's where we were. And I started losing some land due to not rotating. You know, there's other grain farmers in the area that was rotating. These landlords were seeing that. You know, all of a sudden, cotton got a bad name. You're washing the ground away. Da da da. It was a sales pitch, is all it was. So I started growing corn about 7 years ago, and the first couple of years was just mediocre. I mean, 180 bushel, couldn't get over that hump, and I figured out real quick that growing corn is not as easy as they say it is. Number one. Number two, I figured out I had to go to work, and by that I mean I had to figure out how to make more on less, and there was no playbook for this. And by the way, let me back up just a little bit. I'm a first generation farmer. I did not grow up into farming. I worked for a guy straight out of high school for about 15 years, and he bankrupt. When he bankrupt, I kind of stepped in and started from there. But he was a cotton farmer primarily, also. So I had very little experience with grain, and like I said, the first 2 years were mediocre, and I decided I'm going to have to do some leg work here to get these yields up, or this is not going to work. I mean, we can't have this mentality of I'm growing it just because so I can put organic matter back into the soil. I had to break that mentality. So I got to doing a lot of research and whatnot, and just micromanage myself. There was no playbook for this. I had very little help. In the following year, we went 328 bushels in Tennessee, 316 bushels in Alabama, and
Wow.
went 90 bushel soybeans in Tennessee. That was the first year they had a contest there. So we set the Alabama dryland record at 316, which has not been touched to date. We went 329 bushel in Tennessee, won the state there. This is dryland corn now, no irrigation. And first year they had the soybean contest, we won it too.
And as you were telling me, where you farm, you have a lot of challenging conditions. You know, I mean, the soils you said is like a dirt track, and you're going to be sharing a lot of that at the National Strip-Tillage Conference in your session. Just how to make strip till and high yielding success in less than ideal conditions. So, what can we expect from your presentation?
Yeah. I mean, I had several things written down here. I was going to go over a list. The impacts of long-term no-till. That was one of them I had on my mind. Nutrient stratification was one. Soil health, soil structure, soil biology. Not like I said, don't be adding foreign biology to your soil. That's the number one no rule. It will cause you more damage than it will do good. You will kill off your biology. We've actually seen it here twice. It happened. Toxicity of dry fertilizer. I'm against it. The salt levels are extremely high. I don't like it. I think it does more damage than it does good. In some places can't get chicken litter. I understand that, but you need to source out some ahead of time. There's places you can get it. I promise you. You need to remember this thing: from May 1 to May 2, if this guy got it, this guy can get it. It can always be done. You've got to break that mentality of, oh, I just can't do it. Yeah, you can. Get up off your rump and go do it. Get it done some way, somehow. Figure it out. I mean, I've had to do that all my life. Figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, you're a first generation farmer. You didn't have a playbook. You're creating your own playbook, so that you're going to be sharing that with people.
Yeah, and I didn't. I mean, I had a hard life, just to be honest with you. I haven't had my family since I was 13, so there's been a lot of figuring it out, and I think that carries over into my farming. Somebody may come on my driveway and tell me no. Well, that don't mean nothing to me. The world's full of people. You just got to find that one fish. Get it done. But I don't want to hear it. Somebody, I have employees all the time say, I can't. I don't want to hear that word. Don't tell me you can't, because you can. Well, I can't. Yeah, you can. Do it. Figure it out. And that's what I've had to do all my life, is just figure it out. And that's like I said, that's carried over into my farming. Another thing I want to speak on is being proactive. Don't sit here and wait on thresholds of bugs and da da da. You've got to be proactive in all of this. I've never had anything fall in my lap. I've had to go out and hunt for them. You have to be proactive in every step of this, as far as seed variety, seed placement, planter setup, so on and so forth. You have to be proactive in that in order to achieve these high yields. This will be my first time up into the Corn Belt.
I was going to say this is new territory for you, so you got to be pretty excited about this.
Yeah, and I've never been up into that part of the country. Kentucky's as far as I've been. Well, I say that I've been up in there, I've just been in the dark.
Right.
I've never been in the daylight, but it's definitely different terrain up there, and I know that it's different dirt. But here's the takeaway from it. It's still soil. I like to box up some of this dirt and bring it up there and throw it on the table and just show them.
You should do it. Bring it.
Just show them what I'm literally working with here. This dirt, low CCs, I'm talking less than 1%. Low organic matter, I think 1.32 organic matter. Terrible. And this has come from, back in we've always moldboard plowed, being in the cotton business. We've moldboard plowed ever since lower the 70s, all the way up to probably 95-ish. We used to run around here with 15 to 20 moldboard plows running at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we ran 2 crews, one a day, one at the night. And we ran around the clock. That's the only way we could ever plow 6,000 acres. And doing that created a lot of problems. But that was the way we combated weeds, in the cotton, because there is no good chemistry to kill weeds in cotton. There still isn't to date, other than dicamba, and it's just about played its course too. But we created a lot of problems. We lost a lot of our topsoil. It ended up in the bottoms. We eroded a lot of hills, and we didn't know any better. Now we know better.